Okay, the Penn State Ohio State game.
I forgot. It's been so long.
Kurt and Fort.
Contact with Joe Carter.
I like to think of this as it's a democracy until I go on the radio, then it's a dictatorship.
Oversee everything about the show, whether it be who's on the show, what we're planning to do on the show, the topics, preparation for Dan.
You warm that up right now. That is like 72 degrees. Test it. Get the thermometer. Test it.
I'm responsible for a little bit of everything. I do the technical stuff, which is like, running the boards, making sure the stream is working, all these different. Thank you.
You file papers too?
Yeah, I do that on occasion.
Well, I like to use the expression "let's get cracking," but I did use that one time on Fritzy, and I've never seen him move that fast to go to the bathroom.
You don't want to see how the sausage is made. You just want to see the sausage. So I blog. It goes out there into the universe. People comment back. It all works.
So I'd like to think that I'm stalling when I go, not stalling, I'm stalling when I go on the radio. Okay, the Penn State Ohio State game.
I forgot. It's been so long.
Kurt and Fort.
Contact with Joe Carter.
My name is Todd Joseph Fritz. I graduated at NYU in 1991, not that you asked. Don't call me Booker, and I think we'll get along nicely.
The Booker. Like the Ohio State University, the Booker.
Booker, well, maybe we have a title problem here then. If I'm unhappy with mine and Todd's unhappy with his, I mean, he is the Booker, right?
Yeah, that's another thing. You can't say Booker.
It's kind of interesting. I do understand why Booker would come up, because I am primarily responsible for booking, the biggest names in sports and entertainment on the show. So
we like to say he gets people on the phone. Like Booker sounds like it's a very low level. He's sort of a glorified Booker, is what he would be.
he does often, and some of it might be my own sensitivity, but sometimes I feel like no matter what I do, it's not quite enough, and I could always do better. Like, maybe booking someone that's passed on in recent years. And sometimes I feel like unless I book Babe Ruth or Ted Williams or somebody like that, he'll be less than happy with my efforts.
But Fritzy really has got some issues. I mean, he's a really, really sensitive guy.
I'm probably sharing too much here, but I think I have some type of irritable bowel syndrome kind of thing, and if he says anything that sounds the least bit derogatory or anti what I'm doing, or just gives me any kind of indication that he's not happy with my work.
Is this all we got, Todd?
I start getting the gurgling, and I gotta pretty much run to the bathroom. And
how can I do a show with this?
That's unfortunate. I've brought it up with my gastroenterologist, and he thinks it's just nerves, but...
What's wrong with me? Why do I feel like this? I'm going crazy now. No more guessing.
Okay, the Penn State Ohio State game.
I forgot. It's been so long.
Kurt and Fort.
Contact with Joe Carter.
What's up with the incense in the studio there? It seems kind of weird.
Yeah, it's I guess it's like the opposite of kryptonite. Dan needs that to do a show. So I don't know where he gets it. He goes to Vermont. It's not exactly going to Canada, but I don't know if it's medicinal or not.
I don't really know. Dan likes it. I know that. But I don't. To be honest with you, it gets kind of annoying because it's really overpowering. This one time he came in with this Nag Champa flavor, or whatever it is, a scent, and it was unbearable. Like, we were buzzed the entire time we sat here, and Dan eventually had to get rid of it, but I don't know, he digs the incense and lava lamps, and it's kind of a throwback to glory days, maybe. I don't really know.
Dan started doing that, I think, a few months back. I think it relaxes him. It puts him in some kind of earthy state. You know, sometimes, you know, he's got a lot on his mind. He's got 50 different things he wants to get to. He's trying to think of what kind of questions he's going to ask of the guests, what he wants to lead with. He has to remember to get all the sponsorships in, you know, how he's going to handle certain phone callers. It's a lot for one person to take, you know, doing a show solo for 3 hours. And, you know, the least he can get out of it is having some nice sense around that can put him in the proper frame of mind. So we'll give him a pass. I'm not particularly fond of it, and sometimes it makes my eyes water, but it's not about me.
The lunatic is on the grass, remembering games and daisy chains and laughs. Got to keep the...
Okay, the Penn State-Ohio State game.
I forgot. It's been so long.
Hurt and forward.
Contact with Joe Carter after that. I wondered if this was
That's a great term. Any fake laughing going on in your show?
I would think that what you hear from those guys on the other side is legitimate.
When you work in radio, you master the art of the fake laugh, and there's the over-laughing.
I would be surprised if there was anything that was phony. I would hate for them to laugh. I want them laughing with me, and I think a phony laugh would be laughing at me.
No, see, that doesn't work. Then the thigh slapping, you know, when someone tells a joke and it's not good, that doesn't work. You almost have to do the light giggle so no one knows you're doing the fake laugh at them. But we're pretty much experts here. We could spot a fake laugh a mile away, so we have to be very cautious in how we over-laugh at a joke.
And I don't need to be placated. My ego is intact. I've been in this business a long time. I'm secure in what I do.
Well, I think Dan is the best fake laugher. He's really got it down to a science. I kind of have an over-the-top laugh, so I think a lot of times I can usually skirt between a fake laugh and a real laugh, and nobody knows the difference because my normal laugh really is kind of, you know, a little over the top.
But I would be really, you know, I'd probably be a little bit hurt.
Like, okay, so Danny's there. He says, yeah. Say that. I could do that. I do that 50 times a show, and no one has any idea when it's a real one, when it's a fake one. So,
you know, hurt's a strong word. I'd be a little bit bothered if they laughed in anything other than a genuine way.
Don't you love the sound of the last laugh, my friend?
Okay, the Penn State-Ohio State game.
I forgot. It's been so long.
Hurt and forward.
Contact with Joe Carter after that. I wondered if this was
Chai tea and incense, that's as important as getting the guests on. I mean, if we have Barkley and no chai tea, it's probably not going to be a good show.
Can I get a refill there, Paul? Thank you. Did you warm this up? It feels like it's about 60 degrees. No, that's not. That's not. You warm that up right now. That is like 72 degrees. Test it. Get the thermometer.
All right.
Test it.
well.
Hey, I need Starbucks there, Seton, if you get a chance, please.
All right, just give me 1 second, okay?
What's the temperature on that?
94 on the nose. Is that any better? He's a little quirky from time to time. Really obsessed with the chai tea. Hey, bud.
How's that coffee coming, guys?
Sorry.
Thank you. Feels a little bit good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. Now you see, I just made his day. He feels better about himself.
You may be an ambassador to England or France. You may like to gamble.
Okay, the Penn State-Ohio State game.
I forgot. It's been so long.
Kurt and Fort.
Contact with Joe Carter after that start. I wondered if this was
How do your guys prepare for the show?
I really don't know. I mean, I assume they do. Who?
Hey, bud. What's going on? Did you see that game last night or what?
5 minutes. This is smoke and mirrors every day. Is this all we got, Todd?
4 o'clock hour Tiger's supposed to get. We're gonna get some.
Okay, the Penn State-Ohio State game.
I forgot. It's been so long.
Kurt and Fort.
Contact with Joe Carter after that start. I wondered if this was
You know, I get a little concerned for them. Obviously, I have a problem with eating meat. I don't agree with it. But these guys eat, I mean, that's all Paulie eats. That's all he has is, you know, bacon cheeseburgers and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, you have any idea what you're putting in your body?
Meet you downstairs in the bar and her. Your rolled up sleeves in your skull t-shirt.
Okay, the Penn State-Ohio State game.
I forgot. It's been so long.
Kurt and Fort.
Contact with Joe Carter after that start. I wondered if this was
It's a small group that we have here, so it's up to me to monitor what goes on.
That's your guy. Let's just say one good thing about this job, there's no HR.
And sometimes I've caught, I mean, boys will be boys, and I've caught them looking at porn.
Bow chicka wow wow.
You know, I find myself sometimes peering at sites that that Mickey and Minnie probably wouldn't appreciate or bless. But you know, we basically don't have any type of human resources department.
Wow, chicka, wow, wow. You're on it, Paulie.
Show research.
That's probably the best part of working here is that there's no human resources. There's no one watching your internet activities, so it's the Wild West.
Wow, chicka, wow, wow. Check this out. This is a lot better than the Phillies Rays box score now.
We had a discussion, and then the discussion was, what is porn? And then it got into a big debate, and then we got into Bill Clinton, what is sex? And then all of a sudden, I'm supposed to be human resources. You guys written. So what do I say? Like, what is porn?
What?
Make sure it's that side.
One man's art, one man's garbage.
Yahoo Victorino. I got Victoria's Secret somehow here.
What's the story, Paul? I got porn.
So we all kind of police each other. You know, Dan will obviously watch over us. You know, when he's coming in, if we're looking at something that's questionable in terms of our internet searches, we'll make sure that we immediately delete that or go to a website that makes it at least look like we're following sports.
And what about you?
I don't know about these guys, but I was just checking out the website.
I don't think we have Jenna Jameson as a guest today, FYI. Bow, chicka, bow, bow.
Get down, get down, get down, get down, get down, get down.
Okay, the Penn State Ohio State game.
I forgot. It's been so long.
Kurt and forward.
Contact with Joe Carter after that. I wondered if this was
You need a blog to run a radio show. I mean, let's face it. Radio, it was okay, but before blogs, did anyone really listen to radio before we had the internet? I don't think so. I am Dan's representative in the blogosphere. So I take Dan out to the blogosphere, and hopefully I don't embarrass him. Someone emailed Dan and said that I looked like the character McLovin from Superbad, his dad. So that's where McLovin came from.
How you feel about that?
You know, at first I didn't like it much, and now I probably like it a little bit less because that's all anyone calls me, pretty much at home, here, on the street. Overall, I would say, you know, the reception to the blog is very positive when it comes to Dan Patrick. Very negative when it comes to McLovin, which is weird. You wouldn't think it works like that, but, you know, it's all blogging.
They're gonna put me in the movies. They're gonna make a big star out of me.
Okay, the Penn State Ohio State game.
I forgot. It's been so long.
Kurt and forward.
Contact with Joe Carter after that. I wondered if this was
Yeah, we usually, you know, just like with everything, you're going to have some technical problems. We usually try our best to hide them from Dan, just so he can focus in on the show, what he's talking about, what he needs to be doing, and...
Good if we actually had power before we went on the air.
Are we all good? You guys all good in there?
We're all good, dude.
Okay. Doesn't look like it.
We're all good, dude.
Okay.
You know, we try to hide those. I think we're pretty successful at, you know, keeping him sheltered from that stuff.
Should I be nervous?
No more than usual.
Yep. Okay, the Penn State Ohio State game.
I forgot. It's been so long.
Kurt and forward.
Contact with Joe Carter after that. I wondered if this was
You know, I have a rule that's non-negotiable here, and that is there are no favorites. We don't root for teams. We don't root for individuals because we love everybody.
I get paid for loving. Loving all the time. I get paid for loving.
Yes, girl, because your love is mine.
Cause your love is mine.
We root for everybody. We're not afraid to criticize everybody. We're sort of the Switzerland of sports radio shows. We're neutral.
I get paid
makes great radio?
Preparation.
I think it's a combination of entertainment, humor, information.
I think the full package has to be right. It has to be everything from the topics that you have, your host, obviously.
More of your phone calls coming up on the Dan Patrick Show.
The music that you're using, the production that you're using, audio that you're bringing back, whether you're using calls or you really have to have a very well-rounded show where you have to hit all of these different elements. It's really kind of a complicated thing.
So what do you think makes great radio?
Me.
Express yourself.
Okay, the Penn State-Ohio State game.
I forgot. It's been so long.
Kurt and Fort.
Contact with Joe Carter after I wondered if this was
Fritzy's notes, that is a glimpse into one of the most neurotic minds ever. I would think that he would be a serial killer, but he's just too nice. But if you look at those notes and the way he's obsessed with this book, he won't let it out of his sight, and rarely does. And one notebook will go back years and years, and he can find something. If you say like, Fritzl, who did we have on, February 11th of 06? So he can tell you who we were thinking about having on, who we called but didn't come on. It's really kind of scary.
This dates back to February of 06 when I was in a previous place of employment, and it's just one page after the other of some frightening things. Again, to the person that's in their right mind, this would be scary, but for me, it's pretty much all in a couple of years' work.
Did you ever see the movie Seven? Is it Brad Pitt, I think, is in, and Kevin Spacey is the mass murderer guy, the serial killer, and he's got tons of notebooks, and they're just the little writing and the little, it's very, it's scary. It's the kind of thing you find, and when they interview the people, they say he seemed like a good guy, and then he went on that rampage, and then they find those notebooks and everything like that. It's so far there's never been an incident with Fritzy, but I think the notebooks would be fantastic evidence that there was, but. We don't really get to see the notebooks. I mean, I know there's thousands of numbers of big-name athletes in there, and I've been working with the guy for 6 years, and there's like a buffer. If I get too close to notebooks, if I kind of even broach the notebooks, it's like, what are you doing there? I don't know why you want to touch my notebooks. I mean, I don't touch your microphone.
Well, what do you think would happen if he ever lost his notes?
He'd absolutely lose his mind.
You guys see my book? Where's my book, guys? Guys, where's my book? Seriously? What are you doing?
What? He asked for a phone number.
I'll get the phone numbers. You're not supposed to touch them.
Well, he needed it
I know,
now.
all right, you're not going to read this anyway. Just you got to leave it here.
What's the problem?
You got to nothing. It's just you got to.
Did you touch the book?
Just leave it alone.
You don't touch the book.
I know, but don't,
you don't touch the book.
He asked me for a phone number.
I don't press any buttons over there. I don't press.
Does he touch your stuff?
I didn't tell him to pick it up.
I don't touch anybody.
Don't touch the
This
book.
is my little area.
He would
This
have
is stuff here.
like a near nervous breakdown, a meltdown without a doubt. Of I don't know what I always leave it right here. I don't understand how it could possibly be moved, because if I didn't move it, then why would somebody else move my belongings? It just doesn't make any sense.
No issues there.
It's not the neatest system, but I can pretty much get to whatever I need to get to, and it's just it looks, to the average normal person, sane person, that just looks like a lot of scribble. And I've had various family members and friends suggest it's from the movie The Beautiful Mind, where there's just kind of writing and scribble over the wall. So based on what everyone's telling me about these books and my notes, that I should probably stay as far away from children in elementary schools as possible. Although I have two of my own, but I don't let them see the book.
Okay, the Penn State-Ohio State game.
I forgot. It's been so long.
Kurt and Fort.
Contact with Joe Carter after I wondered if this was
Have you heard about the cutbacks?
Excuse me?
Have you heard about the cutbacks at the Dan Patrick Show?
No. What do you mean?
Well, times are tough.
All right. Well, it's a new show though, so it's we've been around for a year. I guess I don't see. It's a pretty small company. There's really not a lot of room to cut back.
Get that Starbucks here, son?
I'm working on that, Dad.
Okay. Think about me instead of you.
Okay. You're my hero.
We only have a staff of 3, so it's be unlikely.
What about him? Pan over there.
Usually when cutbacks happen, they get rid of people who make money. Not like if you cut someone who doesn't make a lot of money. So
I heard little buzzes and rumors, but I'm assuming that it doesn't affect me because of the importance of the guests on the show. So I don't know if anyone's getting a cut in salary or they're letting go of anybody. I think there's only there's only like 3 or 4 of us. So I don't know what they can really do to cut back any further. Half the time I go into the bathroom, there isn't even any toilet paper in there. So I think we're saving bucks as best we can.
Okay, the Penn State Ohio State game.
I forgot. It's been so long.
Kurt and Fort.
Contact with Joe Carter after that. I wondered if this was
They're free to say whatever they feel like they want to say. I don't silence them. I don't edit them. I'd say whatever you feel like you tell me. Sometimes they'll pull me aside privately and go, and then I'll know that's a private little conversation, and then there's a private little room that they can tell me, whatever it is, that stays with me. I don't gossip. I don't say, you know what Seton said about you, Patrick, or you know what he said about you, Paulie. Yeah, you know what he said about you, Fritzy. I mean, that has happened. I mean, they backstab each other a lot. And Patrick, there's like inner turmoil with him and Paulie, and he wants that job. And I just want to let you know, one day that seat's yours.
This one?
Yeah, you're so much better than this. You're not a button pusher. I mean, you're an ideas guy. That's your spot right there, that chair.
All right,
that
awesome.
Is yours. That is yours. Play your cards right, though. But I trust you.
Great.
Okay. Set up. All good, Paulie?
All is well.
All righty. All righty. Hey. But when they tell me a secret, it stays with me. I do not rat anybody out. Like, one time Paul was criticizing Fritzy about being a child, and God, I went, you gotta be kidding me. He is a baby. But once again, you tell me something, it stays with me. And that's really, that's the mark of a great leader.
Yep. About Billy Bean. Okay, so you with the other 4. Yeah.
Okay, the Penn State Ohio State game.
I forgot. It's been so long.
Kurt and Fort.
Contact with Joe Carter after that. I wondered if this was
Well, yeah, my name is actually Patrick Seton O'Connor, so Seton's my middle name.
And why Seton?
My dad went to Seton Hall, and so he's diehard, I guess, and named me. Although he says that it's after Elizabeth Ann Seton, which I don't really buy because he's an absolute lunatic over Seton Hall. But the running joke in my family is that I'm lucky he didn't go to Slippery Rock. So
That'd have been tough. Did you go to Seton Hall?
no, I couldn't get into Seton Hall. I went to West Virginia though. So
Nice. Mountaineer?
yeah, indeed.
Seton, you know how every workplace has, like, the office clown? Here, it's Seton.
It's my tat. It says Irish Pride. It's got a little clad shamrock, Celtic knot, clad of good stuff.
Do you have a title?
Well, I kind of have a title, but not really. I guess I'm a producer, maybe. Although lately the guys have been calling me the director of operations, which I think they're making fun of me, so
he's very important to us getting on the air. So he is kind of the director of operations. Sometimes it's as simple as just flipping a switch or pressing a button, and he likes to make believe that it's a much bigger deal than that, or it's much more complicated than that. But that makes him feel good. So yeah. So he makes sure we're on the air.
You weren't drinking when you had that, were you?
No, certainly not.
That's what about Billy Bean and